the Armed Forces provides amazing training.
I think about veterans as people who have already figured out how to serve.
My military skills have been essential.
Hiring veterans is a great business case. They're the best employees we have. They're flexible, hardworking, and they're used to a global workplace.
If that isn't an asset to any company, I don't know what is.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America.
Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television series that helps military veterans find jobs and transition into meaningful careers. I'm Lauren Wanko. Today we're speaking with companies that are actively recruiting veterans and with organizations who serve the military community. We're also speaking with veterans like you who've made successful transitions into the civilian workforce. We'll help connect you to job openings and give you the information to get you the job you deserve. Log on to our website, hiringamerica.net, for more information and connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel.
My name is Kenneth Lee. I'm the Chief of Spinal Cord Injury Unit at the Milwaukee VA Medical Center. I came from South Korea when I was age 10. My father, his big thing was that every person should be serving their own country in some ways. You know, I joined the Illinois National Guard to start with in the infantry unit, then transferred over to the Wisconsin Army National Guard. I just got my job as a Chief of Spinal Cord Injury about a week before getting a call that I'm getting deployed. I volunteered to join. I knew there's always a chance to go to war. I never thought I would go to war, but I did. My son was 5 years old, my daughter was 8 years old. I don't think they quite understood. Life in Iraq was a little different. So as a medical unit, we adapted to running our own missions without any MPs or infantry support. The intel that we had prior to leaving United States to go to Iraq was that the roadside bombs and attacks were starting to get heated up. This particular day, we put a 3-vehicle convoy together and started heading out to the green zone. And I normally never stop. But this particular day, they found an ID, so they stopped us, and we dismounted, and I heard a car screech. Turned around, and this big car was just heading straight towards me, and then detonated.
There were quite a few individuals that were hurt, and Colonel Lee was one of them.
Only thing I know is my soldiers told me that they found me under a car, so they had to drag me out and noticed that I had an open head injury and shrapnels all over my legs and arms. Certain parts of my bodies weren't moving, my legs weren't moving right. So, you know, am I paralyzed, or is this because of my head? The combat wounded guys coming home, it's a lonely business. Because, you know, you don't come home with the rest of the unit. You're coming home alone in so many ways.
He felt he needed to go back to his troops because there was no closure for him. He got hurt and he felt that he left them behind. So he kept saying, I need to go back, I need to go back. But he needed to go through a lot of rehab himself.
They did a neuropsych testing on me. They said your TBI it affected me more than I thought. And they said it wasn't safe for me to go back and lead the unit. Rehabilitation for me was really hard. I'm a rehab doctor myself. So going through the rehab, what my patients are going through, man, do I feel for them now.
In my opinion, it was kind of a little reserved. He was not as outgoing.
It was miserable 2 years for me, my kids, and my wife. She suffered the most.
A lot of times I saw that he was depressed. He sat down maybe at a window or something and looked outside for maybe many hours sometimes.
You know, as a physician, I did not want to accept that I had PTSD. I felt embarrassed to have it, and so I denied it quite a bit. But my daughter and I was playing a board game, and I wasn't really into it. But she just stopped playing the board game and just said, "Daddy, you don't smile anymore." You know, and then I just started crying. That I remember, and she just ran away.
I felt like he was going through the motions of things, but wasn't actually present.
It just made me realize I gotta do something, otherwise I'm going to lose all my family. I decided to look at what I do for a living, a rehab physician, and sports. So I started looking into that as an avenue for my recovery. So I started running, I started biking. One of the interns came up with, why don't we do an adaptive cycling clinic?
The ability to be active again, to be a part of a team, to compete, there's nothing better, man.
It's no longer just going to work for a job. It's actually going to work and making a difference with this particular veteran or that particular veteran.
I told him before he was a AA, now he's a AAA personality, you know, so he's very active. He gets up 3, 5 in the morning and just going to work, going to any a lot of veteran service things, especially the disabled and paralyzed individuals. He's very passionate for.
Everything that he does at work or just even at home in his spare time is about the veterans.
They support what I do now, and doing everything with me is a huge testament to what a family bond can be. So in my eyes, what is my biggest accomplishment? I think it has to be my veterans, introducing them to adaptive sports. Next thing I know, within a year, they're national championships, they're going to school, they actually have jobs, they're contributing positively to society. That has to be, from my standpoint, the biggest success.
We'll be back with more of Hiring America in a moment.
Continue the conversation on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and sign up to receive our newsletter at hiringamerica.net.
My name is Dulce and I enlisted in the U.S. Army back in 2006. I served 3 years active duty and then 2 in the reserves. And now I am an online content creator for the past 9 years. Hi, my name is Dulce and I have a YouTube channel where I like to focus on beauty, fashion, and finding happiness. My family is from Mexico, and in 1994 is when we decided to immigrate to the United States. So the reason I decided to enlist was because I was 18 years old, straight out of high school, and I was really looking to start a whole new, fresh life filled with opportunities. I was looking at this as just a ticket out of my town, my problems, just a ticket to a whole new life. And I also really wanted to make my parents proud of me because I was making the wrong choices as a teenager. And it was the best thing that happened to me, honestly. I've always loved makeup and fashion since I was a little girl, but I never knew how much of a part it was for me until I deployed, and I couldn't wear any civilian clothing to express my own personal style, and I also couldn't wear makeup. And I remember trying to sneak a little bit of mascara in basic training and getting grilled by my drill sergeant.
Still in the military, so I wanted to do a makeup video, kind of showing you what I do, my routine for work.
I felt restricted and I couldn't really express my individuality or my feminine side.
And just remember, when you're doing your makeup, try to keep it very natural and just kind of accentuate what you have. Like for me, is my eyes.
Back in 2008, when YouTube was a little infant, I stumbled across this great community of other young women out there who share the same passion and who love talking and discussing about makeup and beauty and just having girl chat. Mac Daddy, what? So excited about this. Today I partnered up with Neutrogena to bring you guys one of my favorite go-to looks, which is a dewy, glowy, healthy, and very quick, might I add. I think that's really important when it comes to makeup. ooh, it just glides on like butter and it just gives you that glow. And 9 years later, it somehow turned into a brand and a business, and I'm really grateful for that. Hi guys, welcome to a new Café con Dulce episode. I like to focus on teaching other young women how to apply makeup. I do a lot of product reviews, but I'm really focusing on sharing life lessons and experiences that are hopefully gonna help a young girl out there who is lost, or maybe she doesn't believe in herself. I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. Learn to love who you are. That's such a big thing to me. If I don't talk about it here, I mean, what's the point of having a platform if you don't discuss things that are important, that are going on in the world that affect you and to affect other people? 9 years ago when I first started, I would have never believed if anyone would have told me you were going to interview Hillary Clinton, you were gonna meet the Pope. I really thought that life was gonna be really tough in order for me to reach a point of success. Anybody can start a YouTube channel, but you have to be an intelligent person that knows how to run a business, because this is a business, guys. It is totally doable. You just have to like commit that you want to do something, find something that you like. I honestly love connecting with you guys. If I would give someone who is currently enlisting active duty or just in general in the service, I would tell them to be very aware of what MOS they're going to obtain. Because when I got out, I didn't really want to become a power generator equipment repairer. That's not something that I wanted to do. And really make sure that your mental health is taken care of. A lot of people suffer from PTSD, and sometimes we don't like to talk about it. Because I remember when I got back from my deployment and even mentioning to my own battle buddies or my fellow comrades that I might have PTSD, it's almost sort of looked at as a weakness. So before you go buy a house, before you go buy a car, before you look for a job, anything, it's very important to get professional help so you can be 100% mentally ready to tackle on any challenge that might come your way. And my advice for anyone out there who wants to start their own business online is to first and foremost spend some time thinking about what it is that they want to present to the world. What do they want their audience to take away from the content that they're creating? What's really going to make you stand out above the crowd is a dedication and passion towards your work. YouTube is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be something that you don't enjoy doing. That is the beauty of this platform, is that you're able to do what you love for a living and be your own boss. Nowadays, YouTube is saturated with many amazing people. So in order to stand out, you have to be consistent and you have to offer what only you can offer, which is yourself. So don't try to replicate someone else out there already doing their thing. You know, that works for them. Only you have the best advantage, which is being you. I believe in myself. I've done so many crazy things that I'm gonna be all right. Nothing but good things here, nothing but good things. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend and I'll see you soon. Bye.
I am a veteran, and my victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
I am a veteran. My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
America's veterans are on their most important tour, the tour of their lives.
My victory was finishing my education.
Mine is proving a disability is not a limitation.
At DAV, we're on a mission to help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory is having my new battle buddy.
As veterans face their challenges, DAV is there to help for victories great and small.
I'm a veteran, and my victory is getting the help I needed to put my life back together.
DAV offers veterans of all generations a lifetime of support.
I am a veteran. My victory is being there for my family.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
These financial tips and resources are brought to you by USAA, a proud supporter of America's military, serving veterans and their families since 1922.
College college education, it's so expensive. Let's look at this in two ways. Young couples thinking that they eventually want to be able to help their children or completely pay for their college education 18, 20 years from now. And also those that are leaving the military and decide that they want to pursue a higher education and get a degree in a specific field. How should they tackle that?
So my husband is approaching retirement, and he has transferred over his post 9/11 GI Bill benefit to our children. And so I have one child in college right now utilizing that benefit. It is an amazing benefit. It's most beneficial for a service member to either pass it on to a dependent or to use it for themselves after retirement.
Can you describe the GI Bill and some of the other benefits you were mentioning for those watching who really want to understand it?
So how my daughter is using it, she's going to a state school, a public school. All of her tuition is paid in full through the benefit. And then she also gets a stipend for her books every semester. She gets a stipend for tutoring if she needs it. And then she also gets BAH at the equivalent of an E5 with dependent pay for the location where her school is at.
What's a BHA stipend?
So BAH is the basic allowance for housing. And so for every service member, they get a basic allowance for housing. It's based on their rank and whether or not they have dependents, and then also for the location. So that helps pay for those additional costs like dorms and food allowance and things like that. So really there's very little cost out of pocket for us to be able to send her to school. It's a great, great benefit.
And for the non-GI Bill type of college savings, the best time to start is when the baby's born. Because then you have 18 or 19 years to really save for that goal. You know, if you look at numbers, it could be upwards of $80,000 just for tuition, room, and board.
I could speak personally to this because it's a little overwhelming. There's so many different plans. I know they vary depending on the state. What should people be looking at in terms of a specific plan that's going to get them the biggest bang for their buck?
So I think it comes down to two decisions. One, how much of your kids' college do you really want to pay? Some people believe in paying all of it. Some people believe in paying part of it, thinking that if their child works a little bit towards their education, then they'll take a little more little skin in the game. The second thing is, one of the best things out there is a 529 plan. It's for that college savings. It has wonderful options that vary by state. You can invest in the market, which means you have the opportunity for that growth. But the good thing is, the IRS gives you a lot of options. If you use that money for its intended purpose, which is for college education, then all those earnings are tax-free. But let's say your child happens to get a Fulbright scholarship. Well, it may not cover books and tuitions, it may not cover room and board, or maybe your child goes to one of our military service academies. Well, then you can transfer that to another child. You can even transfer that to yourself and continue your own education.
So that's a great point when you talk about transferability. So if you are really a planner, you could actually decide, you know what, we're going to have a baby sometime. So you could set up a 529 in your own name and then ultimately transfer it to that child that's not even here yet. So if you want to get a really early start, that's an opportunity to do that.
And the good thing is, grandparents can add to that account as well.
Should parents be saving every month? Should they be saving every year? Is there a benefit for saving larger amounts in a larger stretch of time?
People give you a loan for college education. People give you a loan for a home. No one is going to give you a loan for retirement. So while you're thinking about saving for your kids' education, make sure you don't put your own finances in jeopardy and don't continue to save for your own retirement first. So once you've got everything in order and you're saving the amount you need for your own retirement, then the best thing to do is put a sum away each month. You take advantage of dollar cost averaging, which seeks to lower the overall price of those shares you buy within the 529 plan, but it also gets you in the habit of saving every single month. And when you save every month and you get in the habit, then you're going to be more successful in the long run.
But the longer you can leverage that time and compound returns, earning interest on your interest, the better off you're going to be. So if somebody drops a big chunk of money on you and that's going to go for college, then hey, why not start early and get that money working for you?
Thanks for watching. The information we've just shared is all on our website, hiringamerica.net. Log on and find out about companies who are hiring veterans. And don't forget to connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, where you can find helpful tips and full episodes of the show. I'm Lauren Wonko. Join us again for another episode of Hiring America.
Hiring America, produced in partnership with DAV, fulfilling our promises to the men and women who served.